On the wall. On the wall.
On the wall.
En la pared.
On the table. On the table.
On the table.
En la mesa.
On the phone. On the phone.
On the phone.
Por teléfono.
On the left. On the left.
On the left.
A la izquierda.
On the floor. On the floor.
On the floor.
En el suelo.
On the go. On the go.
On the go.
En movimiento.
On the way. On the way.
On the way.
En camino.
On the bright side. On the bright side.
On the bright side.
Viendo el lado positivo.
On the news. On the news.
On the news.
En las noticias.
On the market. On the market.
On the market.
En el mercado.
On the run. On the run.
On the run.
Huido, fugitivo.
On the bus. On the bus.
On the bus.
En el autobús.
On the street. On the street.
On the street.
En la calle.
On the spot. On the spot.
On the spot.
En el momento.
On the basis of. On the basis of.
On the basis of.
Sobre la base de.
On the whole. On the whole.
On the whole.
En general.
On the edge. On the edge.
On the edge.
Al borde.